Hello everybody and welcome back here to High Button Sports as we get set for another game of action here in the Junior B League between the Capstone Colts and the East Hants Penguins. So the top-seeded Colts taking on a solid, or top-seeded Penguins, 11-1-1, taking on a solid Colts team at the 9-3 record. And we are just about ready for puck drop in Hockey Fights Cancer Night here in East Hants. Nice little ceremony before the game, and we are just about underway, and we will get into it here as that one sent down the right side, hustled after. Deep down low, Morris looking for it. Morris touches that puck up the right side, and now it's up to Hansen. Hansen tries to go one-on-one up ahead. Knocked off the stick there, and a big old sweeping trip there, but they deem that accidental, so no penalty there as they were streaking through the zone. Puck over, Morris, quick turn and pass, and it's worked up the right side to Field. Field plays that in around. Looking for that puck, Field. He surveys, kicks it back to the blue line, steps in, shot from distance off the blocker. Back in behind, and now an odd man rush potentially the other way, down the right side. Dulong shoots, pad save, steps in Stevens, and he'll knock into the netminder, trying to go for the deke. Looked like he had a good look at it. That puck put on the backhand, and Penguins push that up to center. Now stepping in and worked into the right side corner. Backing around, Pens surveys, it's up near center again, and onto the stick, sent on in behind by Sanford. Played and turned over down low. Colts pick up on it though and get that back down the right. Not going to have enough for icing as Stewart picks it up. That's Connor Stewart. Tries to go up the left side. Sanford hits it gets over the red line and dumps that down in along the end boards. Backhand, hard up the wall. Steps in and worked back into the end wall again as East Hants with some good pressure here through the first 2 minutes. Hustling for those pucks hard. Grabbed now by the Colts on the left side. Colts try to squeeze on by near the blue line. Picked up and heading back the other way into the Colts end. Right side, swept on. Brought out of the zone and over center. Backhand over to Haynes. Haynes quickly pressured as Curtin hands it off, and these guys are doing a good job here for the Penguins to keep the pressure on, but the Colts get possession in the offensive zone, and a swinging shot there that won't be connected on through the slot, and a lead pass the other way. Curtin tries to dipsy doodle his way around, and it'll be covered up for our first whistle of the game. That one about 2:40 in. My name's Jeff Warburton, back on the call here in East Hants. A rink that I did, or a team that I did for 3 or so years. The past couple of years. This year it has been handed off to the new generation of High Button employees, but sometimes you got to fill the gap, and that's why I'm back here on the call. Happy to be in East Hants once again on a Friday night. It's an 11-1-1 team. The Penguins known as a stellar regular season team. Will this be the year they can kind of break through, try to bring home that title they got so close to 2 years ago? Penguins up the right side and a lead pass into the middle. Looking to get a whack at it, and it's over the blue line. Trying to shake off a hit. Penguins picking up on it. Haynes, nice little heads-up play there over to Logie as he elected to bounce off the half wall, and quick pass back. Good pace here to start. Brought in over the line. That's handed over and shot to the end boards. Cassie, one of the leading point scorers in the league, has been nothing short of stellar this season. And that's handed off and almost for the breakaway. And a good look there in front as it works around. And Hansen swings at it and almost bats that in. Highlight reel goal potential. Didn't quite go. Creating a grade A chance quickly there. O'Connor now looking for a lane up the right side. O'Connor over the line. Hands off. One-timer shot, and that blows up the stick of Cassie. There goes a couple $100. The old Cleve sales down in Halifax, though. If you're looking for discount sticks after that one, That was quickly stopped, and a little collision there as Field runs into the man, and both of them take the hit and try to move it along. Face off here to the left. Face off coming as the stick still getting cleared out. Puck dropped in here. Turned over as it ricochets and having to stay sharp there in net. Steered aside. Stevens puts that puck up ahead and into the end boards. McKenzie tries to harpoon that in. It gets blocked, and now backhand Sauce just missing the mark there. No ice, though, as it gets worked in the other way, and Aiden Nicholson plays it back to the blue line. Nice pass there in front, looking for the shot off the shin pad. Colts now try to move that back the other way. Stevens, head up, pass to the left side. Handed across. Dulong steps in, and they get their first real look at the game there by the Colts, and some pushing and shoving follows. Nolan Stevens, 14 points in 12 games, and trying to remember if he played for East Hants last year. I know he's a Dartmouth Subaru alumni, former captain. I believe maybe he continued to play Dartmouth there last year. As the years go on, the mind kind of forgets the minor details, but Stevens lacing up for the Colts, a guy who has been on high button for many years. Down the left side, as well as some of these other guys as well. Some familiar names out there for me as it's sent in near center. Worked around the wall, trying to catch up to that. Spinning out of the zone, spun again, and that one steered to the end wall. Backhand, trying to get that through McPhee. McPhee kicks it and gets by the stick, and out of the foot race back for it. Zayos putting some pressure on, showing some good wheels, but Capstone maintains possession down the left side. Fired to the end wall, jumps the stick of McPhee, and the Penguins look to move that up ahead. Sanford into the end boards. Colts leading pass back to O'Connor as it hits the feet. Steered in behind, over to O'Connor. Trying to get that lead pass up ahead. Anders is poked at. Field launches that up the left side into the end boards. Trying to work that around. O'Connor on the blue line. Bouncing puck over to Field on the end boards. Colts head up. Play that up the wall. Penguins pick up on it. O'Connor tries to move that up the middle. Blocked and sent back. Penguins bounce that, and that's going to be sent all the way down, and the Colts will take the old conservative cover there as we approach the 7-minute mark here in this first period. Shots 4-4, dead even, as we've settled in pretty nicely here. Face off, dropped in there. It'll be sent around the boards and back for Stewart. Stewart surveying. Ios shoots that high in the sky, and that's gonna catch the ceiling there. The old school, what is that? Would that be the beams up there? The old metal beams you see in some of these rinks. And face off here to our right. That dropped in. Sidos has to wait a second, and that causes a delayed offside, meaning they'll have to tag up. Colts down the left side, sent to the end board. Picked up, and first penalty of the game coming here, and I'm not sure what that one was for. Both refs had the arms up though. So 12:42 left to go, and interference to call, and the first power play of the game coming here for the Pens. Face off to the left. End boards. Colts shoot that back in behind for the Pens. Pens surveying now. First chance here on the power play of the game. Played across. Hansen overskates it. Feeds that back in behind. Overskated again as they're trying to catch a rhythm here outside of the zone. Hansen gets that up to Cassie. He turned it over into the feet. Now it's a chance the other way. Backhand, and a big block there in front as the Penguins just could not get on the same page there. A couple turnovers in their own end. And they might adjust the clock here as it looked like a few free seconds worked off there, and I'm assuming if it wasn't, oh, looks like they're gonna leave it. So minute 22 left to go on the power play. So a free couple, oh, they're gonna hold it. That makes sense there. And now we'll start back up. So 12 minutes flat left to go here in the first. Picked up and an interference call, and then we'll be heading to 4-on-4 as laid out in the middle of the ice. Face-off will come down to the right, and that power play only lasted about 50 seconds. And now, like I said, an extended 4-on-4 here for a minute 10. Puck dropped in. That's played on back. Penn survey. Over to the right side. Leading pass, and right on the money. 4-on-4, steps in, trying to go 5-hole. It's loose. Another whack at it. Hansen tries. And a beautiful look there. And even on the rebound, Cassie with 14 goals in 13 games played almost had another one. Looking for that big 15, which would just be real impressive stuff. I remember doing some of the games last year with him on the team, and I was instantly impressed. The guy from Georgetown, we're a long way from there, but this guy knows how to play across the province clearly. A little bit of O'Connor. Oh, sorry, that one's led up for the Caps. Down the left side, trying to get set up right there on the doorstop. That one's gonna bounce through a couple times. Grab near center. Merritt tries to work at it. Hansen steers it up ahead. Colts surveying, whipping that over to the left side. Colts over the blue line, drops that back. Shot, patted aside. Worked up the wall. Morris comes in and tries to catch the netminder off guard with the pad save retaliation though. Morin through traffic. They get the shot from the knees there. Zaidos and a good look there to try to create a chance. As there's a beaver tail delivery right behind us up here in the booth. They got the fried dough, otherwise known as a beaver tail, here at the East Hants Sportsplex. This place is a great host to the junior team and now the senior team, with Roxy's taking care of everything. And the Colts start to move that up ahead. Down the right side. Dulong in the corner. Fought for along the boards there. McPherson Back to Dulong. Dulong to the left side. Back to McPherson. Shot one through. Nice tip there in front. Still loose, as that one's covered up in net by the netminder Finton Boudreau. Star goalie for the Penguins the past few years. Ten minutes left to go here in the first, so we're at the halfway mark. In the first period, good action on both sides. No goals here yet, though. Caps on the blue line. Shot blocked. That one's going to be turned back the other way. In over the blue line. Slowed up. Harpoon to the corner, and that'll be the end of the power play. So 4-on-4 didn't get anything. And we're into the back half of the first period here. Diab hustles in for it. Bailed out, and McKenzie starts to move. McKenzie, he'll take a shove there in center. Stewart now tries to play that up around. Picked up nicely on the backhand and moved ahead. Curtin tries to feed that across, as they had all the Colts down low, but the puck didn't get through smooth. Back in behind. Slapped at, and now potential chance down the right side. Looking for the shot. Picking his spot, goes high. Left side corner. Comes free. Colts. In behind near Stewart. Stewart getting outskated there by Andrews, but he makes the smart move with the stick and makes the play. So a little microcosm of speed versus technique on that one. That one turned over. In over the blue line, handed off. Diab, shot, save made with the glove, point blank. And one of the better chances of the game gets stopped off the stick of Thomas Panopalis. 8:44 left to go here in the first. Face off to the left. Picked up and shot the length of the ice. And beats out the icing, and then played to the middle. Chance for the shot here, and it's blocked in front. And almost a grade A chance there created out of thin air for the Colts, but the block at the last minute saves it, and that one now blocked well into the mesh. Face off will be in the Colts end. Puck drop, Colts play that hard off the board, over to O'Connor, he'll pick it up. Brought in over the line on the right side there and steered into the end boards. Cassie gets it across, sharp angle shot, and another whistle there on in the left side Colts end. Is good job making that stop. Netminder Carter Aguirre. We want to talk about guys who have been on high button before. I believe the former Armada goalie. Following him for a couple of years and now playing with the Colts. One of the cooler parts of the job is watching all the guys kind of rise up, and now with years of coverage, comes together pretty nicely here, and hope everyone's enjoying the free broadcast on YouTube as we head to that in East Hants for the rest of the season, and we appreciate the support as that one flies through the beams up top. It doesn't actually hit them, it manages to skip them, but the whistle blown regardless. I always kind of wondered that when they go up through the top and it doesn't hit a beam. So it's technically not touched, but it goes into that roof part. I've kind of noticed that it's mostly up to the ref's discretion. Spring hockey games I've seen where they'll let it go. Maybe games like this with a little more on the line, they'll be a little more done up about those rules. But I gotta guess the rule book says call it if it crosses through, but regardless, that puck down the right side, 7:27 left to go here in the first, 11-9 the shots. Still scoreless, despite some good opportunities. McKenzie fires that into the end boards, and it goes to the corner. Heads up, running into the referee there. It was Nicholson. Nicholson now picks up, heads behind his own net, passes it off to his defender, and they try to go up the wing into the feet. Not much there. Stevens now, backhand. Not the greatest breakout there as Pens try to exit their own zone. Stevens comes up with it, toe drags around, plays it in front, pad save, and it's still loose. And the best stop of the game there for the Penguins. A great look off the turnover. And the Colts have kind of found a bit of a rhythm here as the period's gone on. Penguins came out of the gate hot, and they're still playing pretty good, but Colts kind of matching that energy at this point. Puck dropped in and flipped up the wall. Curtin back in behind for the Colts. Curtin stops that on the line. Key play there into the feet, though. He tries to get that through, and it's closed up by McKenzie, and a nice defensive play there. Penn still along the end board. Colts surveying. Over to Stewart. Stewart handed back. Back to Stewart. Up ahead over the left side. Looking for the shot, and he shoots one wide by the post. Stewart. Head up, gets that to the right side again, and it's chipped down into the zone. McKenzie, he'll go hard into the boards. Okay, though, played out in front. Oh, and a great play there by Aguirre, and now some punching down low. Whoa, and some ragdolling. Did not see that coming as the Colts trying to make up for that. Dulong, I don't know if he took a full swing, but he was damn close. And now, still frustrated, he's chasing after him, and now he's ragdolling him. And the refs are letting Dulong do whatever right now. They got to step in. And Curtin now, he'll take some whacks. Full-on fight, and the refs are letting it go here. And we've got a full-on Donnybrook. Some uppercuts by Curtin as the stick's still in it. And a full-on fight as Dulong gets in on it. And the crowd goes wild as the refs let it go. Dulong stepping up, and props to Curtin out there. I mean, Dulong's got about a foot on the guy, and Curtin's going to head off. And that was a full-on Donnybrook here in the first period. I mean, you be the judge of that one, but Penguins got a couple good shots in there. Wow. I've seen a lot of fights broken up in this league. I don't know if I've seen any be left quite like that. And, yeah, so, I don't know if I've been out of the loop or what, but that was a fight pretty much right in front of our camera here. It'll take the refs a minute to sort this out, but I guess some of that senior league hockey is in the air. And Curtin, a guy that has also been a friend of High Button the last few years, played on the Mustangs last year in our first year partnering with the U18 League. And his brother has played on High Button Stream since he was about 13, playing for the U13 Tassa Ducks. And now he's up on the Buccaneers, I believe. And that Buccaneers team at Monktonian. So the Curtin family, no stranger here. And now one of them has a fight. And the refs are going to take their time here as the excitement. So we're going to let them do their thing. And the curiosity, Jack Dulong, another name, played for the Basin Armada a few years ago. That's where I recognize that name from. So a former U16 player, ended up playing for the Max as well a couple years ago, and then 3 years on the Colts. Has a point per game this year, so contributing on both sides. So we're going to let this be sorted out, and we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so a little reset here for the teams, as it was a little hard to follow exactly what was going on, but a 4-minute penalty, I believe, for Dulong, as they've got that up on the boards. 2 guys sitting in the box there who didn't fight, who were just serving, I believe. I looked down and saw one of the refs explaining to the East Hand, doing a motion to the East Hands coach of punching. Looked like he was trying to kind of explain exactly where these penalties were coming from, and there were some punches thrown. And puck will head to the left side, and with 6 minutes to go, 4-minute penalty We'll be all set, and a golden chance here for the Pens after the rare full-on fight here in Junior B. And now the Colts coaching asking again what the 4 minutes is for. This game's had a little bit of everything except for goals. Okay, so 5-on-4 with 6 minutes left and a 4-minute penalty, and the Penguins have a chance here to do some damage. Back to Stewart. Stewart gets it down the left side. Cassie gets it down low below the goal line. Fish back. Stevens shot through and into the mesh, and quick whistle here just 14 seconds in. We'll have drop again. Cassie back to Stewart. Stewart over to Cassie. Shot off the chest protector into the right side. Trying to bounce that back through. Hustled after. Colts take it and get their clear. Penguins pick up on it. Colts coach says don't chase, don't chase. Over to the right side. Pens over the blue line. Played back down and behind. Cassie onto the half wall. Down to the goal line. Penguins survey. Back to Stewart. Stewart. Hansen steps in. Block there. That one rifled off the foot. Had his spot picked. Back to the blue line. Under some duress, but gets the puck down low. Puma spins and gets that pass off, and now it'll be hustled up the right side. In on net, backhand, steered aside. Hustle play here. Cassie overtaken though by Andrews. Andrews in over the line. Picked up. O'Connor. Surveying up to Sanford. Sanford gets it right on the money and steps up. Can't get the shot off. Spinning around into the back foot. Toe drag back to the blue line. Over here to O'Connor. O'Connor to Morris. Played through, looking for that perfect play. Goaltender jumping around the net there. Comes back to the blue line. Chop to keep it in. Onto the half wall. Pinched in there and sent the length of the ice here as first 2 minutes of the 4-minute double minor killed off. 3:50 to go in the first. Pens. Hand off. O'Connor. O'Connor over the blue line. Drop back. Tries to get that across and knocked him behind. Morris. Over to O'Connor. Pens survey up to Sanford. Sanford gets over the red line. Dumps that down for the old dump and chase. Aguirre gets it, but not the cleanest thing ever, as back to the Penguins, but exits the zone regardless. And frustration there on the Pens bench. Not getting much going here on the power play. Hansen. Back in behind. Up the boards. And whistle goes. Under 3 minutes to go now and just a minute left to go. So rolling along pretty quickly through the end of this period. And that last 3 minutes of the power play. Face off down here in front of us. Kicked on back. Up the wall and a clean clear back to the end boards there. Little toe drag, Pens survey. Looking for Hansen. Hansen over the line, trying to find Cassie. Chased after. Back and behind, one-timer in front and a good look there as the net gets knocked off. Best look of the power play. Coming with just 30 seconds left in it. Puck dropped. Back to the blue line. Stewart, top of the circle. Down to the bottom of the circle. Hand it off. Trying to feed it, steer in front. Chop that. Hansen. Off the foot in front and a free cover there. Just 11 seconds to go on the power play now. Some back and forth chirping. Puck dropped, back to the blue line. Save made, that makes it all the way through the traffic. Aside from that fight, there hasn't been anything too aggressive about this period, really. Obviously, that's a big asterisk with the full-on fight, but other than that, it's kind of been focused on trying to get this first goal of the game. Two top teams going at it, one-timer. Trying to thread the needle, but going to hold off on that and take the play. Andrews down to the left side. Shot steered away. Back to 5-on-5. Picked up, trying to cut out in front Stewart. Bit of a risky play, but makes it to the half wall and then lays out a big hit along the blue line. Taking a number there are the Colts and a diving save there in net. A couple of quality stops here through this first period that has us 13-14 the shots. Face off, dropped in. Puck tipped to that end board, try to steer back off the backhand. Penguins pick it up. All sorts of Colts there to pressure. Icing waved off into the end boards. Chip play, can't get much on it. Penguins grab it. Now they have that in the offensive zone. Trying to step in and go short sides field. Back to the blue line. Shot tipped loose and another good chance with a minute left to go. And some real quality stops here through the first. One after another as these two teams are battling. Puck steered to the corner as we break inside the 60-second mark here in the first. On to the back foot. Flipped up the wall, slow to McPherson. Leading shot, spun around, sent in. Colts up the left side. Brought back across. Penguins get to it first. Pierce chopped down out of midair. Puma. Backhand, somehow makes it. Scoop it in around for McPhee. To the line. Looking for one last good scoring chance. Walker, shot tipped by Puma. Had a chance there. 10 seconds to go as Penguins look north. Sanford flips it to the corner. And with 3 seconds, that should take us to the end. And it will. So after an exciting first, we'll be back in about 10 minutes for the second. All right, everybody, back here with the second period of action here for the Junior B Penguins versus Colts. 0-0 game after a wild first period, which saw a fight, some power plays, some saves, but no goals as we get into the second period here. That one kicked back to the line for Whitelaw. Whitelaw tries to stay with it, but it's played up the right side instead to Cassie. Cassie brings it in, plays it to the middle, and a great shot and a goal. Starting out the period strong as the Penguins bury one in less than 30 seconds. And Cassie will get his 16th assist and 30th point in just 14 games played. An absolute snipe to break the deadlock here at the start of the second period. And back to center we go, just like that. So now we have truly had everything here. Down the right side, a little hezzy hay fake by the Colts as they are going to now be working hard to tie this game back up. Puck tried to get freed up. Penguins survey and play it up the left side. Hit there near center, shoulder to shoulder as Garson picks it up. He'll get to the red line and play it back in behind. Merritt looks for it. Finn Merritt gets overtaken. And it's played off to the left side. Brought down and pushed to the corner. Shoved in there. Colts surveying. Up to Garson. Brought back in behind. Pens looking off the toe of the stick there. And icing call, and it'll be a free face-off in the offensive zone here on the left for the Colts as they try to get that first one back. 15-15 the shot. Puck dropped in there. McPherson hands that back over. Back to McPherson. Shot into the gloves. Comes free though. Colts now trying to get that through. Penguins muscling it up through the middle. Can't get there just yet. Now back over for the Colts. Kick back McPherson. D to D. Back to McPherson now. Over to the right. Over the blue line. Toe drag in. Off the shin pad and comes loose on the left side. Penguins. Back to Coggins. Block there, and this Penguins team looks like and feels like they're playing for each other out there. Defending each other nice and doing their best to get this puck out. Stepping in front of pucks. Laying hits. Stewart gets it over to the left side. Brought in over the line. Penguins shoot. Hits the end board and ricochets out the other side. Lawson. Back in behind the net. That's going to work up the boards. Colts surveying. Flip puck. Jumping around the zone. That'll come back around. In near center. 3-on-2. Back the other way. Tried to get that pack through his Penapalace. Stopped. In over the line. Right side. Steered to the corner. Yeah. That was on Penapalace again. Is kind of jumped on. Whistle goes. Face off here in front of us. This game brought to you by Taylor Flooring. As Lawson picks it up. Plays it around the end boards. Logie. Back around. Colts. Try to get that up to McPhee, but it's intercepted by Hansen. Now spinning, not much on that as it works to the corner. Cassie back in behind. Field takes a bump. Looking to get that up through the middle. Pierce chases, but it's going to wrap around the end boards. Garson shoots in, gets stopped. Backhand trying to get that through on the saucer. Not going to get very far, but Penguins maintain possession now, looking for Hansen. just off the stick. Field now over the blue line. Shot by Field. Not much on that as it ricochets off the end boards. Moving to the middle. Andrews loses that, and it's sent back the other way. Hustled after by McKenzie. Bounces it to center. Merritt pressures, but brought back around. And hand pass will bring us our whistle here about 4 minutes in. Face off right here in front of us. As shots 17-16, so Colts take the lead in the shot column. It's been tight all game. That one sent down for the ice. Thought it touched a stick, and they did on the ice as well, so maybe a lucky bounce there for the hometown Penguins. Face off on the right. Puck dropped, flipped up in the air and caught up to near center. Handed off, and McKenzie off the glass, comes back in behind. Penguins trying to lead past that up. Merritt, toe drags. Merritt over to Whitelaw. Spinning, trying for that. Penguins up to the middle. It gets caught in the offensive zone, and a sharp angle shot hits the side of the net and fooled a couple Colts fans as the net comes off. And a good chance there for the Colts as they start to hem in the zone a little bit. 5 minutes gone here in the second, and we approach the halfway mark in this contest. Penguins overskate that. Garcin shot in and comes back down in the opposite corner. First in, trying for that pass. That one's touched. Don't think that'll be icing. Waved off. Down low. Penguins try to steer that out in front. McKenzie up the half wall. Stopped once more. Penguins start to survey. Pass in off the foot. Steps in. Shuts. And that one's saved. Back in behind. Sharp angle shot there as Diab goes down to one knee. Leon Draisaitl, Alex Ovechkin style. Stewart up, hits the stick of Nicholson. Gets in behind for Aguirre. Aguirre spins, gets it over to Merritt, the former Citadel star forward, as he gets a stick right up near the cage. That'll loosen up his cage. And he's going to have to change. He's still playing with the loose cage. And it's going to be a slashing call on Merritt, though, as they go back and forth. And he got caught up in the moment on that one. And now a free power play here for the Penguins. Face off to the right. Down from the corner, Hansen. He gets there to it first, dishes it back to the blue line. Hand it across. Diab surveys, nice hard pass. They have to grab it again. Cassie, he puts it down low, in behind the net. Diab takes a shove there, and Stevens makes it work for the Caps as that exits the zone, and they're forced to reset. Stewart. Hand it off. Back in behind. Penguins shoot that. Sent down. That one's going to go for the icing. 1:20 left to go in the power play. 13:31 in the second. And the face-off to the left. So bounce there for the Colts, who continue to play hard in this one. Down 1. Penguins. Poked at. Brought back in over the blue line. Shot goes high and wide. Puma catches up to it. Flips that back onto the end wall. Touchback for Stewart. Lead play. Onto the left side. Into the feet. Spinning. Bouncing puck and heads up play by Aguirre as he gets that mitt up in the air and kills that play. Sometimes it's the weird ones that'll get you, but not the case there. Face off. Dropped in there. That's one back, but it's going to split the D, and another free play there for the Colts as they try to hustle after that with all they got, and now taken down along the boards. And what's this going to be for? Holding the stick on the Pens. So a good hustle play by the captain. Creates a 4-on-4. I believe that was Liam Andrews. You have the captain there, Andrews, and turning on the Jets and getting the guy to make a mistake in the corner means 34 seconds of 4-on-4 as we continue to approach the halfway mark here in the game. Puck dropped in, Pierce into the feet behind. Pens surveying. Get it to the left. Brought in over the blue line. Looking for a lane. It's to the end wall. Drop back around. Funny bounce, but no harm, no foul there for the Colts. As McPhee going to work it up the right side. McPhee barreling in for that puck. It's picked up along the end boards. Grab, shot on. That would have been icing if it didn't catch the netminder. And minute 25 of power play time now for the Colts as Walker hands it off. Colts looking. Up through the middle, McPherson. McPherson brought in down the left side. Pressured along the end boards. Back to the blue line. Picked over to Garson. Garson over to the right side. Shot blocked before it can get through. Nicely done there. Now back in the zone. Colts pick up on that near center and to the end boards. That's the one thing about the East setup is you got all the kiddos moving up and down the concourse behind you the entire game. Sometimes that lingo catches your ear, but not Stevens as he steps in on the circle and finds his spot for the power play marker. And the Colts were looking pretty comfortable down there moving the puck, and that'll even the game up. .11:08 left to go here in the second, and we're dead even at pretty much the dead even portion of the game. And we'll head back to center, and that one just a cheeky one getting by the arm. Puck dropped in. Whitelaw. D pass there, goes under the stick, and Pens try to put some pressure on, but it's sent up ahead to Puma. He'll do the old drop pass, right side, shot goes wide. Brought in around. Whitelaw, D. Colts, chip up, hit stick of Puma into the corner. Colts spinning again, top of the circle, shot, that one looked close as it just goes wide. Into the feet. Handed off now here for Field. Field plays it down low. Whitelaw pressures. Field has a man in front, but the goaltenders stick there by Aguirre as he gets that down. Nice play there by the netminder. Moved up to center. Stewart. That's Connor Stewart who got that down. as Hansen's going to head off to the dressing room. Looking a little labored as the backhand goes wide, and not good for the Penguins there as Hansen, their first line left winger, having some real chemistry with Chris Cassie, heads off mid-period, and he's a tough customer. So you knew it was something, maybe gear malfunction we can hope for. But we're going to keep an eye on that developing story here. Out of the igloo here in East Hants. Zydos to the half wall. Played back in behind. Some pressure as we officially break into the back half. And the arm goes up. And power play upcoming here for the Penguins. With 9:34 left to go in the second. And that's going to be Jacob Troney-Willis, who's got 7 points in 6 games, the 2006-born player. Face off from the corner. Looking for that puck. Comes over for the Colts. Backhand onto the stick. Starts to move out the right side. Hand it off. Kind of flutters into the end boards there. Now, Penguins over the blue line. Hand it off field. Loses that, and free clear as that's sent up. And in behind. That ended up being a 4-minute penalty there. So another second double minor of the game. And the Penguins haven't been able to set up too much here on the power play. So they're looking to change that, but they still have another 3:10 left to go in that power play. Down the right side, Pens take a bump. And it's spun back to the end boards. Trying to grab that up front and sent the length of the ice. O'Connor surveys himself. Not much going here yet as the unit will change. Something to keep in mind too is Hansen on that first power play unit. Currently not able to go out there as puck sent into the end wall. Swept that and sent the length of the ice to the left side. Stewart gets to it. From the corner. Lead play to the left. Brought in over the blue line. Slowed up. Grab to the middle. Shot goes high. Worked around, Cassie. Into the feet, and now that's turned over by Diab and a potential breakaway the other way. It'll be back the other way, looking for the shot, scores! And a short-handed marker puts the Colts up for their first lead of the game, 2-1. Here with about 7 minutes to go. A tough move that was instantly picked off, and the Colts are not messing around here with 2 straight goals to take the lead. And the strong crowd here from Cole Harbour showing their support on that one. So now Penguins try to get some momentum back on their side. 7:16 to go, minute 40 to go in the power play. Down 2-1, shots dead even, 19-19. And on the end boards, Penguins dish it back to the half wall, back to O'Connor. Gets it to the hash marks, but it's sent on through and gonna miss. And they don't even get to that puck first in their own end, and it's played on back. Tipped down low and a partial opportunity. Something you gotta keep in mind here is that a good indicator is when the team starts getting beat in their own end to pucks. That's usually showing which side's working harder, and a tough offside there and some frustration kind of boiling through there for the Pens, the 11-101 team. But yeah, if you're getting beat in your own end, That's usually an indicator there that you got to probably pick up the legs a little bit, and if it's short-handed, well, that's a little sprinkle on the Sunday, I suppose. You definitely don't want that. So Penguins trying to get some momentum back on their side here. The number 1 seed in the Fred Fox division, I believe. Stewart up to the right, just onside as the Penguins try to muscle that through center. Gonna have to reset back over for Connor Stewart. Hands that off. Brought back in over the line, down low. Puck picked up, top of the zone. Looking for the shot. Save made, as that's a good little look there to get that on. 33 seconds to go in the power play. So another look here in the offensive zone. Puck stopped in the corner. Has a man in front. Gonna hold on. Penguins to the half wall. Fed down low. Behind the back plate. Colts try for it. Worked in around. Colts. Survey now. Whitelaw over the blue line. Poked at. Penguins. Nicholson. Backhands up ahead. Ooh, and looking for the hip check. Separates man from puck down and low. Back to even strength for the first time in 4 minutes. And the Colts with the 2-1 lead here with 5:26 to go in this second. Up ahead through center, and 3 Colts players run into each other, freeing that puck up. Gonna come back for Whitelaw. Not too much pressure there as he surveys. Touch pass by Puma. Up through the middle, shot, and a save made point blank there into the breadbasket on Tyrone Willis, and the face-off will be to the left. Puck dropped in. Lawson chases. Chips on the end board, try to feed that back out in front. Ricochets off a Penguin stick and starts working back the right way for them. Back in behind, past the stick of Aguirre and working along the boards. Merritt spinning, misses Sanford. Down low to the end boards, Lawson. Shot, tipped, bouncing around. Over the head and down the left side. Pierce chasing. Pierce. Up the wall. Now handed off. Across the line. Drop back play. Blocked. Tyrone Willis tries for it. Trying to feed through again. Lawson. Hands off. End boards. Worked in on the wall. Picked up from there. Drop back over to the corner, into the feet, and it swipes under, and O'Connor's forced to chase. O'Connor over to Pierce. Pierce to Cassie, who steers it up the right side. McPherson chases, evades the check. 3:45 to go. Colts looking comfortable right now. Penguins moving the puck slightly better than they were at the midpoint in the period. Down low to Hansen. Good to see him back out there. Big addition we were keeping an eye on. Didn't see him rejoin the bench, but he's there on the ice. D-to-D pass. That comes to the right side here now. Lead play to McPhee. McPhee. Shot. Looking out in front, and it just bounces off the stick of Stevens to the blue line. Shot. Bouncing around, and it goes wide. Penguins. Lead play. Field spinning, misses Hansen by a step, but Hansen makes the right play, gets it down to the corner. Colts sent up ahead. McPhee over to the right side. Bouncing puck, that caught a wrist in front, and a little stinger there for the Colts player Connor McPhee. Down here to Logie. You know what happens when it's not necessarily the hardest puck you'll ever see, but when it gets you right in between the chest protector, the elbow pads, and the gloves, that can be a stinger. 2:26 to go here. Flipped on back, turned over for the Colts. Colts try to head up ice at that. Coggins pushes it to the middle of the Puma. Bounces by him. Flipped off the boards. Cross the line, save made. Swept that again. Flip back the other way. Puma over to McPhee, over the blue line. Trying to center that to the end boards. Under 2 to go. The diving pass out there gets to Whitelaw. Whitelaw off the glass, spinning in front, one-timer shot, loose for a moment. Good tracking by Boudreau, goes wide. Sorry, by Stewart. Nope, that's Boudreau, just missed that one number. Yeah, I was about to say. Unless they switched mid-game, but Stewart's down there on the bench, so makes sense. Spinning around. Up the right side, waiting for the tag up. 80 seconds to go, step in, shot, and it goes through the legs, but comes out the other side. And a dangerously close chance there. From the end boards. Comes on back to Garcin, right side, bouncing puck up high in the sky. Touched and waved off. Up the left, to the middle. Penguins shot, steered away. Big save there, under a minute to go now. A stellar stop. Trying to get that back in behind. Whitelaw chases. Whitelaw hits it into the referee. Up top, bounces off the stick. Hands off, shot, steered in behind. End boards. Chop that. Colts leading play to the left. Garcin over the blue line. Tries to hand that back. Can't quite get there. McPherson in near. Oh, and that comes off with 19 seconds to play, and that one covered up. It was a bouncing puck. And maybe one last chance here for the Colts. What's been another great period. .16 seconds. Up the left side. Hansen delivers onto the stick, and now it's 3-on-2. Back in the other way. Shot goes high. Back from the corner. Hansen onto the doorstep. Save made on Cassie with .8 seconds. And another big stop for the Colts, since that would have been a big momentum shift. But it looks like they'll be able to head out of this period off a mark. Dropped in, and that'll take us to the end. So another entertaining period here at the Igloo. We'll be back for the third in about 10 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here to the Igloo for the third period of action between the Penguins and the Colts. Score 2-1 for the visiting Colts, trying to get a massive win here within the division against the Penguins on a Friday night on the road. Currently up 1. Penguins going to bring their A game, trying to come back in this one. Cassie down the right side, off the pad. It's fed to the corner. Hansen overskates that, frees up for the Colts. Penguins over, play that through the middle. McKenzie brings it back around. Looking for that puck on the left side. Colts survey. Pass to Ronnie Willis. Hits off his stick down low. Penguins head up. Gets over to the right side and they'll survey. Nice little outlet pass, Idos. Just can't corral it clean enough though as it gets into the end boards. Slightly behind him on that one. Pens from the right side corner. Dished back to the blue line. Shot goes wide. That one had some eyes. Stewart plays that down low to the doorstep. Brought back in around. Cycling down low. Right side corner, and it heads over to the mesh. And on the streaming booth that we made here for the Senior League games, which are streamed on highbuttonsports.ca as well. Great relationship with the crew out here in East Hants, years and years long. And that continues into the junior, senior leagues. We also do the Rangers out here, the U15 league, when you can see some of their championship banners straight away from us there on the opposite side of the rink. The Rangers had a great year in 21-22, taking home multiple banners, and they're hung up proudly here in the Igloo. Lead play to the middle. Haynes tries to get that down. And I believe, if my East Hants Junior B trivia is correct, that they have 2 titles in this league. They were oh so close a few years ago. Face off on the left. Penguins trying to get into a flow here and tie this game up in the third. Puck dropped in there to the half wall, picked up, shot the length of the ice. That one bounces with a big ol' hop, but Pierce picks it up off the easy icing and will head down to the left side. So Penguins retake the shot lead, 28-25. Big ol' slapper. That one goes off the stick there. As Aguirre had to stay squared up. Anders spins, gets it down the right side here, in behind. Lawson. Into the feet there, Pierce. Not the cleanest handoff. It'll come back. Grabbed by Lawson. Tries to get that out, hustled after. Moved up near center. That's going to ride up a stick into the mesh as we're just trying to kind of catch a rhythm here in the third period. A couple of whistles through the first 3 minutes. Face-off will be the neutral zone. Puck drop, sent back to the end wall. Penguin survey. Hard pass off the boards, past the stick of Hansen. I think he'll break out and catch up to that in behind though. Trying to get it squared up as he beats the icing. Fumbled off the stick but maintains possession. Gets that down low. Back over to Hansen on the half wall and gets in behind him. The Colts try to work it back the other way. A little saucer pass, waiting for the tag up. They'll time that perfectly. Coggins tries to play it out in front. Loose puck into the feet. Broken up. On the end boards. Penguins Shoot that. Ricochets off a stick. We'll go down for the ice. And we'll head to the right side. 16:30 left to go here in the third. The back and forth continues. Shot wraps in around there, rolling up the wall. It's shoved at now. We're trying to go one-on-one down the right side. In over the line, broken up. Colts behind the back. Grabbed by the defender who tries to get it up near the stick of McKenzie. No icing, sent down and behind. O'Connor gets it to the right side, half wall. Zydos now tries to feather that one, or fire that one through, I should say, well across the ice to the breakout pass, but it gets broken up by the Colts. McKenzie down the left. Pucks picked up along the left side here now. Penguins going mano-a-mano, trying to find a lane. Poked off to the corner. Hard pass across, looking for the shot, scores! As that's tipped on through. And the Penguins tie it up with 15:34 to go in the third. We'll go back to center. Tied up 2-2. Sanford buries that one on the 30th shot of the game. And we got a brand new ball game. To center we go. You knew this Pens team wasn't going to go away easy with that 11-1-1 record, and now we're all square. Losing a stick, but trying to push that puck forward. Penguins pick up on it. Bouncing off some feet, tipped off, so no icing into the end wall. Off the glass, back for Stewart. Over to Stewart. And up the right side. A little pressure. Comes back through for Bryce Stewart, hands it over to Connor. Puck picked up, sent down, and just catches an icing there. 5 minutes gone here in the third. We'll move to the right side. Face off will be here in the corner. Walker to the left, shot, puck's loose there in front. McPhee tries to jump in on that one, but Penguins get it just in time. Trying to go up the wall with it. Nicholson into the feet and well offside there. There's another whistle. And still, like I said, trying to find a rhythm here. Picked up on the red line and sent along the end boards. Stevens dishes across. 3-on-2, heading back the other way. Stevens. McPhee. Shot. Loose in front. Bang away, and they score. The Colts get one back on a cheeky one, as that bounces by Boudreau and slides on the inside of the net. And we'll head back to center. And then another eventful couple minutes here to start this period. Back to center we go. Shot along the end boards. Hansen surveys, snaps a pass up to center, in over the blue line. Handed off, Hansen looks to the shot, and he gets a good look, trying to swing it back in front. And another great chance off of that last one. Penguins, oh no, and they get caught there. Cassie I could see it on the trip, but I didn't know if he was going to go for it, but the ref standing right there. And a penalty against the Penguins, who have 14 minutes to work with, but are now going to have to kill off to a PK time with their best player in the box. So tough go on that one as they were trying to separate man from puck, but ref deemed that too much. And we'll have a face-off here to the right. McPhee back to Walker. Walker, blue line, back to Walker. He'll look. Lots of times to shoot, scores! And just seconds into the power play, that one set high, 7 seconds to be exact. And that's 4-2, and all of a sudden, your hometown Penguins have some work to do. This has been a great game on a Friday night, and it continues to deliver. 13:41 to go in the third. Happy to be bringing you this action for highbuttonsports.ca. Colts pick up, but it's sent down low to Aguirre. Near the end board, Andrews gets knocked off of it. Trying to pick up on that. Backhand, jumps out near center. Oh, and a hard shot that ricochets off a stick into the mesh, and I believe they're going to say that was off the Colts, that ricochet. Face off to the left. Picked up, shot, save made as it's saved and brought into the chest pretty quickly for the cover. Now waiting here, netminder. Aguirre good to go now. Puck dropped in on the left side. Brought back down low and worked up the boards. Stewart gonna stop that. Connor Stewart fires it in to said end boards once again. Colts survey. Penguins need a little momentum here to swing back their side as the Colts rolling. McKenzie over the blue line, up to Andrews. Andrews shoots, spun off into the corner there. McKenzie looking back to Andrews. Captain plays it to the middle, and it's going to split the D-men past Garson. Over on the left side, stopped up, little chip play. Toe drag, trying to catch up to that. And back for Connor Stewart. Over here to Bryce Stewart, gets to center, fires it down low. Kick to the middle, Teroni Willis. Brings it in over the line, shot by Merritt, well off the mark there. Into the end boards. That's gonna circle around. Picked up, played into the corner. Penguins up near center, individual effort here by Cassie. He'll get that knocked off the stick, toe drag to center, trying to create a turnover. Oh, and an extra shove. Ref lets it go, and a bit of a pile up down there. Picked up and sent back and behind for the Penguins. Line's gonna stay out there. Pierce starts up through the middle. Pierce, left side. Pierce over to Hansen. Hansen picks up on it, tries to feed through, turned over. Picked up and flicked high in the sky. Comes back down to a waiting Penguins player up here to field. They're going to keep this top line out there, still buzzing, maybe getting a little fatigued. Hansen still pressuring down low. Field with them. Over here to the left side now. Flipped up, back to Stevens. And now Penguins will get a full-scale change for the forwards with 11 minutes to go. Little cheeky play there in front, and the net gets knocked off by a couple inches, and the whistle goes. Face off on the right side here. Sorry, left side. Left side of the zone, right side of our screens. End boards. Flipped on over. Trying to get that pass. Hits off the stick, Zydos. Logie kisses it off the glass. Comes back down and behind Penguins. Chip play. Back to Logie, over to Stevens. Stevens fires that. That'll be an icing as it hits the side of the net. We got 10:27 remaining as we're about to approach the back half of the third. 2-goal deficit for the hometown Pens as they're looking for that spark. The Stewart's on the back end. Picked up by Sanford to the middle. Shot. Bouncing puck off a shin pad. Picked up and flipped back to center as it's spun back into the zone. Evading the check, but getting the correct poke there is the Colts as it heads back to the corner. Stevens turns it over to Stewart. Stewart just gets the shot through traffic, but save made. And we're officially into the back half here of the third, and another big stop to keep this 2. Puck dropped. Colts. Back to Andrews. Andrews. D to D. Hits the stick there near center and to the end boards. Stewart moves in for that. That was Bryce Stewart. Back in line for Puma. Puma surveying. Gets some sauce on the platter and hits into the stick and then the glass. 9:30 to go. Played around to the blue line. Shot sent in. Save made as it goes off the chest protector. Down the left side half wall. Stewart over to Bryce Stewart. This line's been out here for a while on D. That's poked up by Diab into the bench. So we'll try again here with 9 minutes to go. Face off here in front of us. Perfectly lined up. Now drop back and one back for Pierce. We got the top line back out here for the Pens. That one hits off a stick. Icing waved off. Oh, one waved it off. One let it go. And they're going to elect to go with that was icing. So we'll head back down to the right side. We'll head back to the Penguins' end. 35-30 the shots. Picked up, kept in on the blue line nicely. Shot, ricochets to the corner. Little backhand over to McKenzie. Ricochets off the defender's stick to the blue line. Stopped in front with the block. Pierce surveys. Pierce. Down here in front, trying to get that to Hansen's, turned over, back the other way, 3-on-1 potentially. Merritt steps in and scores. Nice goal there by Merritt, and the Colts go up 5-2. And that is a heavy deficit to be working against if you're the Penguins. 3-goal lead, and the Colts, who have come to play, deliver another big insurance marker late. Back to center we go. Still time on the clock, but a boatload of work to be done for the hometown Pens. That was a 3-on-1, electing to shoot, not forcing the pass, catching the goalie just out of position, picking his spot, and well done there by Merritt. Zaidos sends one low. And that one just offside, and the bounce is just not going the way for the Pens here as the Colts buy an extra few seconds and survey. Big saucer up to Stevens, hits off his stick, comes down for O'Connor. Now the circle round for O'Connor, trying to go end to end, puts the puck into an open area, but that area closes off quickly and is played up the right side. Stevens pushed down low, picked up and looking, cut back move. Over to the right side. Up Zaidos. Shoots one in, hits the end boards, bounces off the right side. Circle around the end boards again, Colts. In near center. Brought across the blue line now. Toe drag in, looking for a chance here. Goes high, and a good look. Point blank, doesn't register a shot. And we'll have a whistle with 7 minutes to go. Puck dropped, and that one's played up near the glass. Comes back down, and a leading play through the middle now. Touched up, trying to get some pressure on. Shot, save, and a nice stop there. Back to Stewart. Stewart quickly sends it back to the corner. Nicholson spun it around, bouncing puck to the right side corner, spinning again in front. Stewart jumps on it. He's well below the blue line here now, trying to go to work. Hands that off, but the Colts using the body to separate man from puck there down low. It's in the corner. Whistle goes now. 6:30 exactly remaining. Face off on the left. Only action here on High Button tonight. Tomorrow it will be 4 games of U18 female action from around Atlantic Canada, all over the place. Port Hood, Fredericton, over to Pictou and Dartmouth, I believe. So that'll be the action we have heading into the weekend here on High Button. Thought that there was a whistle there. They caught mesh when they caught the player off guard, and that was basically a free play there for the Colts as it comes on back to Walker. Up the wall, poked at. Bryce Stewart going to leave it for Connor. Inside 6 minutes now. Connor over to Bryce. He'll start to move the shimmy shake, gets it to Hansen. Hansen feeds to the corner, to the end boards. Back past the stick of Hansen. Colts trying to go up the ice with it. Merritt off the skate, and that one ricochets pretty much at a 90-degree angle right up into the stands. Face-off will be in the Penguin zone as we work towards the end of this one. Puck dropped in there. Penguins from the corner. They look up ice. Zaidos waiting for that puck. Bounces off the wall. Sent back in behind. No ice as they made red line. Colts on it. Played it across D to D. Stevens steps up and gets a solid check there as it comes back to McKenzie. McKenzie on his back foot. He'll look. Backhand turnover, not much on that one. Over for the Penguins, but they try to deke and knocked off the stick with relative ease as we cut inside 5 minutes. Lead play back and behind, and Boudreau will be forced to cover. And a little Tom Petty comes on. One of my favorite singers ever. And the face-off comes to the right. A little Won't Back Down, too. That song and sporting events seem to go hand in hand. Right now, they're needing a miracle or they'll be free falling. Face off on the right side. 3 goals in under 5 minutes. The tail of the tape here, the name of the task for the Colts, or for the Penguins against the Colts as the Colts work that along the end boards. Skating out of that check there to the middle. Shot pad save, rebound, and that one right to Puma, but he goes through the legs. Backhand on the doorstep, knocked off. Penguins, fan on it. Over to the right. Jumping for that puck. Once again, missing it. Onto the stick, McPhee. Diab. Stopped. Swinging back the other way. Penguins getting a change in, at least the defense are, as it's worked into the corner. 4 minutes to go. Puma flips it back in to the top of the zone. Save made with a big booming hit, and for the 5th time tonight, the net goes off. And we'll get the whistle. 3:52 remaining. We'll head to the right side. Time ticking away off this clock. And a little frustration being let out by the Penguins via kick to the boards. I'm more of a slam the stick type of guy myself, but, you know, only at desperate times. That one, try to spin that back out in front. Or, you know, in golf when you want to break the putter over the knee. I read something earlier that said it's weird to throw your club in golf, but not weird to use it when it's in your hand to let out frustration. It's only weird when you start chucking that thing. Down the left side. Shot. Loosened up in front. Off the mask of Boudreau. Garcin, nice pass across to the left side. Shot. Glove save as it ricochets off. Onto the stick for the Penguins, and they try to get a lead pass in there. 3 minutes to go. In on the end board as some of the crowd starts to clear out to beat the traffic. Up the wall and sent back in behind, no ice. Big shot. That one tipped, so no ice the other way. So 2 in a row as we wind down here. Shot in front from one knee, and it just misses the top right by about half a foot. Low shot on the doorstep, trying to jam that through. Penguins not giving up, but the pad gets out for Aguirre, and with 2:26 to go, we are headed for the finish line here. 5-2 lead for the Colts. Right side. Little lead play. Bouncing it up to himself. That's a high skill move, and then takes a hit for his efforts. Stevens shoots that in. That's let out. Penguins. O'Connor gets it to the right. Pace kind of slowing here as another sport reference. If you're at the end of a football game and you're rushing 3, willing to give out the zone entry to kill time off the clock, you head down the right side. And then another one that falls into that category while we're on the roll is in baseball, when you say I'll give up runs for outs when you're near the finish. We'll take an out. We'll take a run if it means an out. Here we'll let them move that up through the ice if it means an extra 30 seconds killed off this clock. That played up through the middle. And the stick goes flying on that stick lift. Refs don't seem too worried about that one as it's fished out of the corner with 97 seconds to go. Move it up through the middle and down into the end boards. Whoa, and that one's gonna garner some attention, or maybe they'll just be okay with letting this one play out, but maybe aim for the stop sign a little bit on that boarding. 1:23 to go. They'll send him into the boards and not force the issue. Remember, this game had a legitimate fight well earlier than this, about halfway through the first with Dulong and Curtin, and despite it being a tight battle, it seems like the Colts have snatched the momentum off that fight. And we're at 83 seconds, and it'll be a power play to finish it out as we get to the end of this one. McKenzie fakes it, steps to the middle, shot blocked off the stick. Diab trying to work that back the other way, going for a skate up the right side. Backhand off the skate there, and it cuts back in front for the Colts, who now hustle it up the ice themselves. Worked across, and we'll cut into our final minute of play here. 5-2, and it looks like the Colts will be soaring their way to a victory here, and a big one over a division rival on home ice on a Friday night. And be proud of this one. Merritt, who had a big insurance marker earlier in this period, hands that off the shoulder or the elbow. They're saying stop the clock. Now they will. That'll probably mean another 7 seconds added onto there as the ref hustles over to the box. Face off coming. On the blue line. Through traffic. Puck pushed to the corner. Back to the blue line. Half wall. 22 seconds to go. Walker. McPhee shoots, saves. That one somehow catches glass and no mesh. And with 13 seconds to go, another shot on, and this should be our last face-off of the game here upcoming. A little Rasputin comes on. I don't know if that's going to get the crowd up here right now as we head towards the end. 38-41 the shot, so old school Junior B. Lots of shots on net. Some good goaltending and another good save there. That was an absolute clapper. And now sent into the end boards, and with 2 seconds to go, that'll take us to the finish. So the Colts coming to your hosts, take your hosts. Big win there for them. And that'll do it for me here on highbunsports.ca. Glad to be back on the call here for the Penguins despite the score. Great to be out here in East Hants. We appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate the support here on High Button.